Hey, what's going on everyone? Hunter with Rebel Outdoors, and today we're going to be talking about what's inside this little box right here. Alright, so for those of you who were aware, I had a fully decked out skinny guy camper that I was using for a number of months, and recently I've switched out to this new prototype camper. I'll go ahead and put that video link up here. But with this, you know, I guess downgrade, if you want to call it that, I wouldn't really call it that, but you know, that's the word I'm going to use. So I had a need for power, and more so that would be for like fridges, recharging tools, you know, all the Overland goodness, me for cameras, doing YouTube videos, all that kind of fun stuff. Because next week here, myself and Joey from Pro Outdoors are heading out to Nebraska to go on a mule deer hunt. So needed to have something kind of quick. Now, when I eventually end up putting my topper back on this truck, I will be integrating essentially what is inside this little bin into that topper, but I need kind of like a little portable solution for the time being. And I kind of stole this idea from my buddy Jason, who, yeah, by the way, thanks for your help. I don't hate you, I just like you a lot less now. But basically, he has something like this in his Nissan Frontier, and in kind of my needing something quick and easy, I was like, oh, I'll probably do something like that. I had one of these old little Plano bins rolling around, and kind of show you guys what I did. So inside this little Plano box is essentially my power system, and on the outside here I do have one of these Blue Sea little adapters, which has a switch that you can turn on and off, and you can get normal 12 volt. You can get some USBs and some more USBs. And I kind of just screwed this into the top here. I did end up cutting this big hole in the top here for the Renogy 1000 watt inverter. And one thing that's kind of cool with this is you can see I just have it on because I'm powering the fridge currently. Just kind of test some things out. But if I switch it to this other mode here, there's actually a little controller that I can plug in here, and then like if I wanted to shove this way up in the bed of the truck, I could like mount this control right there. And this is pretty much it. Nothing real too crazy to it, but yeah, it's got a decent amount of cord. Full disclaimer, I did have to talk to a bunch of people and do a lot of research. I am not good with electrical stuff because me like rock. But anyway, this is going to be like a very basic minimalist power setup video, if you will, kind of explaining what I did. So up top on the roof rack, I do have a monocrystalline solar panel from Renogy. This is a 100 watt solar panel mounted up to my Sherpa 4x4 roof rack, and I have the power cords running down under the bed and into some holes right in there. And those are pretty long. You can see they're just kind of hanging out the back here, but I can push that back in if need be. So this little guy just has like two normal outlets and then a little USB here. You can directly connect something here, but again, it's not really my thing, so I'm just going to leave that the way it is. For the other skinny guy camper, I did purchase a Renogy 100 watt battery, and this did work great in the skinny guy. Powered everything I needed to without any issue. So when I traded that in, I obviously still had my battery here. So the only thing I had to get was this 1000 watt inverter. That is the solar charger for the solar panel, and then I got the solar panel itself, and then of course this little Blue Sea guy off Amazon. But basically you can get little bundles, so like that solar controller and the solar panel came in its own bundle. And as you can see here with the solar controller, you'll have your positive and negative for the solar panel, so you plug those into the solar panel accordingly, and then you have a positive and negative that just run to the battery. And then up here, how that little light is blue, you can kind of see right over here, it'll tells you a color for whichever kind of battery you have. So obviously with this being a lithium, I have the blue dot. So the inverter was pretty easy. It's obviously just a positive and negative, and that's what these bigger cords are right here that just run straight to the battery. Now for this little setup here, the only thing I had to add was a negative cord hooked up to the battery and a positive cord hooked up to the battery, and again just kind of made a hole on this lid for that. Now I do have some little tie downs that I put in here, such like this one. So my plan is just to get some little straps here at the hardware store tomorrow, just so that way this battery's not moving around all in here. But pretty much you can see I have the solar, from the solar charger, the negative ran for that and the negative ran for the little blue C up there. And then same thing as well on the positive battery, nothing too crazy. But this is one of the smaller of the Plano bins. I think this might actually be the medium, if not the smallest one that they make. Not quite sure, but it's really not too big. I think it's the smallest one that they make, but obviously it's something pretty cheap. It kind of contains everything. Now again, it is not waterproof because of the different holes that I drilled in this thing, but you know, at least this way, I mean, the bed's enclosed already, so it's going to be out of the elements, hopefully out of dust and all that kind of goodness. And then I did just want to cut this hole in here to have like an easy access. Now what I do plan to do to this, maybe a little later, because again this is just kind of a temporary thing, but I might cut some extra holes in either the top or in the bottom just for kind of airflow to get through, because last thing you want is all of this to kind of heat up. And you could do that by just like cutting out these extra holes right here and putting some screens through, or maybe doing like a hole on this side and then like this adjacent side, just so you have some airflow in there. Of course I do have this big opening up top here by the inverter, but again, you want to kind of be able to maximize airflow. This is more of a vent, if you will. So all in all, I would say this system costs a little bit over $1,000. I want to say the battery when I bought it was like 700 something. The solar panel with the controller was like $130. You can get this stuff off Amazon too. And then the inverter itself was $200. So, you know, again, a little over $1,000 there. But at least with this bare bone basic power system, I will be able to like hook up the fridge. If I need to charge some tools, I can do that. Charge my camera, you know, cell phone, all that kind of other stuff while you're completely off grid, you know. So, and it is nice. I know some people, you know, when they go out, they want to just completely be detached, and that's awesome. But again, for like doing YouTube stuff, I gotta have ways to charge camera batteries, all that kind of goodness. The fridge, obviously, because we don't want food to spoil, or the meat that we're taking out to go bad or anything like that. So that was kind of my reason. I just wanted to make this short little video to kind of show you guys about this easy little process, because I didn't really know anything about it, and when I looked this stuff up on YouTube, it was all like these super intricate like versions of this. So this is the Me Like Rocks version of a quick little off-grid power solution. So as always, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and like, comment. If you have any questions or things I probably should have done better, I'm sure that there are definitely things that I could have done better, but again, this is just like some last minute thing that I wanted to throw together before our hunt. So like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below, hit the little bell notification so you get notified when I post videos every Friday, and as always, we'll catch you guys in the next one.